Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's card making video, I'm going to be making some more cards using this gorgeous gilded washi tape sticker set from the Washi Tape Shop. This is called Auric Rose and it has to be one of my favourites. They're basically washi tape stickers on a roll. They're pre-cut, so they're really easy to use. They just peel off the backing tape, and so it makes them really versatile with card making, junk journaling and anything else that you might like to do with your washi tape. So I've already gone ahead and added some of these stickers onto some white card, and then I fussy cut them out to create my own ephemera. And so what I'm going to be creating today is some floating card panels. It's not a new technique, but it's something that I've not done before, and I had so much fun creating these cards. I'm going to be using some Gina Design's masking magic sheets, which are just a really low tack masking sheet because I need to be able to hold all the pieces together while I'm working with the design. So any kind of low tack tape would work for this, but ideally something that you could cut to create a whole card panel. You can get like washi tape sheets as well, which would work for this. But yeah, I'm using the Gina Design's masking magic sheets. And so first of all, I'm just laying out my design on a card panel. This measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I'm just making sure that I've got a nice placement of those ephemera pieces that we've created. Once I'm happy with the layout, I'm then going to use the masking magic to hold it all in place. So I'm just going to stick it down in the top left-hand corner, make sure it's lined up nicely along the edges of the card panel, peel off the other piece of the backing tape, and then I can just go ahead and stick that down. If anything moves, you can always reposition it. The masking magic tape is repositionable, and then I'm just removing that card panel there. So I'm keeping it nice and simple for my first card, and I'm going to have all of these just propped up. So I'm just using some foam tape here, which I'm cutting to size and attaching it to the back of all the ephemera. If you've used any smaller pieces, then you will need to make sure that you've added a little bit of foam tape to those as well. But you could use foam squares for this if you prefer, but the foam tape was just easy enough for me to cut it down to size. Once all of those pieces are covered, making sure that you've gone right up to the edges, I'm then going to remove all of the backing tape, and I can then line up that card panel, press it down, remove the masking magic sheet. I'm going to add the backing paper back onto it because I'm going to reuse that for another card. And then I'm just going to use my long bladed scissors to trim off all of the overhanging pieces. So don't throw those away. You may be able to use them on another project if you've got any gaps, so you can still use those. But look at that panel. I think it looks so pretty, and it gives the illusion that all of those pieces are just floating on the front. So I have seen this done before, but I've never done it myself, and I just think it really created such a pretty card. And it was a great way to use those washi tape stickers, turn them into ephemera pieces, and then you've got a lot more versatility from your washi tape sticker sheets. It also means by having the stickers, you can then decorate your envelopes, decorate the inside of cards, coordinate any gift tags. So yeah, there's lots of different ways that you could use the stickers. I've then just added a sentiment to the front of that, and instead of adding foam tape, I die cut multiples of the sentiment die, stacked them together so that it's got a nice solid dimension. And that sentiment was from the Concord and 9th Christina Warner checking in stamp set. I'll leave it all linked below. So I've done exactly the same with another panel, but this time we're going to die cut a shape from it. So these are these stylish oval dies from Spellbinders. You could use any shape die for this, but I thought this would look a little bit different and give the card a really modern look. So the masking magic holds everything in place while you die cut it, and then you can see there we've got that frame that we could keep for another project, but we're just going to be using the centerpiece today. So again, you're going to need to do the same technique, add foam tape or foam squares to the back of all of these pieces, remove all of the backing tape, and then make sure it's nice and centered and press it down, making sure that all of the pieces have got stuck to the card front. I'm then just going to peel off the masking magic, and you can see we've got that really gorgeous floating oval on the front of our card. I'm going to round off the corners just on the opposing sides to the card panel, just to step it up a little bit and give it a slightly different look. And I'll also do the same on our card blank as well, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm using another sentiment from the checking in stamp set, and again I've done the same. I've stacked a few of the die cuts together to create a little bit of dimension, just because with frame tape obviously it's only going to catch some of the areas, so it was just easier to have dimension over the whole sentiment, and then that way it would look quite nice and sturdy on the front of the card. So I'm just adding liquid glue to where it's going to make contact with the raised areas. We don't need glue on the bit that's going to overhang. And then that's the finished card. I've added a few little gold gems to both of the cards just off camera, but I think they look really, really pretty. I've got lots of pieces left over for a few more cards as well, and I've added photos of those at the end of this video. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Remember, you can do this technique with any ephemera, stamps, or anything that you've got in your stash that you could cut out like this. So use what you've got if you don't have washi tape stickers. As always, all the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget you can also hype the video as well. It's a new feature that really helps out small content creators like myself. So as always, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Take care.